welcome to the Doll Mom Podcast. Today I have such a awesome, amazing guest, Rachel from at Dolls on the Go.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited that you are finally on the Doll Mom Podcast.
Me too. I'm so excited. I'm sorry it took so long after our first attempt. I'm just excited to get another chance to come on and say hi to everybody.
Yes, so for those of you who didn't know, me and Rachel, we tried to do it. I don't know how many total times we tried to do this. Like maybe 3?
Yeah, we tried maybe 3?
Maybe. I don't know.
Did not have luck.
No, just nothing was on our side. But anyways, I have a feeling today's going to be good. Like we have all the luck surrounding us. It's like we're filming this on, well, I guess we're recording this. I'm stuck in like the YouTuber mindset with filming. But anyways, on a Friday, it's a good day. It's like the weekend, you know, like I just feel like it's just going to be such a good episode today.
Yay. Me too.
Yes. So we're going to be getting to know Rachel, kind of talking about her, what she does on her social media accounts, which if you guys don't know her already, you're going to think that she's like the coolest person in the world.
Aw, thank you.
And then we're going to be talking about doll hunting. So that's kind of what we have planned to get into. Who knows what we'll actually get into, because I feel like it's a surprise with every episode of what we talk about. But I'm just so excited.
Me too.
So I feel like without further ado, let's get into it. So let's get started. So we're going to be getting to know you a little bit. I feel like we should have like a theme song every time I say that, like getting to know you. So Rachel, how did you get into dolls?
I got in through two dolls through my youngest child, who was then 11 and now 16, almost 17. So it was about 2016. Actually, for sure it was 2016 because I know the exact doll that started it all.
Which doll was that?
Want me to jump into that?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was American Girl. My youngest came to me. I never really had an interest in dolls before, which made me sad because I have my entire life. I've loved dolls. When I was young, I collected dolls. And by what I say by that is I was that girl in the neighborhood that you went to her house to play because she was spoiled rotten and had way too many dolls. So I wasn't an only child. I was the baby of 10, but I was the late child. My youngest sibling next to me is 11 years different. So pretty much my parents had raised an entire family of 9 kids, was done. And then late in life, boom, there I was. So I wasn't raised with all my siblings. So it was just me, even though I had all those siblings. So my mom was able to spend time with me and spoil me more than she was the other ones because there wasn't so many. So their money situation was better. And they were all grown and it was just me and her. And she loved dolls. She always loved dolls. So I had a house that always had dolls. My mom was, older generation. So she had baby dolls and porcelain dolls, those sort of dolls. And then when I came along, it was all about Barbie, and I had my sisters hand me down Barbies. And, I was born in 71. So those would have been Barbies from early 70s and late 60s. So that's what truly started it with me. And by the time I was the age of my youngest at 11, when they started collecting, I had a whole room. I had a doll room, I had my bedroom, and then I had my doll room. So I was really spoiled, and it was all Barbies. I probably had at least 800 Barbies when I was 10 years old. So I've always been that person. But then you hit that age where you're like, it's not as cool to have a doll room anymore. Your friends aren't into Barbies. They don't want to play when they come over anymore. And you just start slowly getting rid of things. So that happened with me. And then, and then I grew up and I married and I had kids. And once you have kids, it's no longer about you. It's just about them. Every penny, any extra money, you stop treating yourself because you spoil your kids. That's just what life is. And I had 2 older boys and then my baby who was not into dolls at all. So I was like, okay, I guess I missed that boat of having a child to collect dolls with. And it made me so sad. But I never considered collecting dolls on my own because, again, money was tight and it was all about them. And then at 11, Ryder, my youngest, came to me and said, Mom, I want the American Girl doll of the year, Leah Clark. And this was 2016. And that was it. That was where we both fell in love with American Girl dolls.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet.
And I was so excited because 11's pretty late to come to your mom and ask for a doll for Christmas. Now, granted, they came to me in November. American Girl, the doll Leah, had already been out since January, but I didn't even know about American Girl dolls yet. So I didn't know how it worked, how long they were on the shelf for. I didn't really understand that, anything about them, because when I was young, there was no American Girl dolls. If there had been, I would have for sure collected them, no doubt in my mind. But again, I was too young. My doll collecting was late 70s, early 80s, like right before Pleasant Company dolls. So I missed that market. But yeah, I went 2016. I want Leah Clark for Christmas. It's November. I'm in Kohl's because Kohl's carried them. And there she was. And I went to get her. And I didn't know that this was not going to be like I could come back the next day and she was still going to be there. I put her back because I was buying so much. It was Black Friday and I'd spent so much money. And my best friend talked me out of it. She's like, that doll's not going anywhere. And why are you spending $100 doll on Ryder when they've never wanted a doll before and they're going to get rid of it in a week? And I'm like, you're right. I'm just going to hold off. If they're still asking for it for the next holiday, then they truly want it and I'll buy one. So I didn't do it. And Leah Clark sold out. I didn't find her anywhere. I mean, this was only a couple weeks after Black Friday. We're almost at Christmas now. And Ryder starts talking about Leah Clark more. Like, you know how kids do when it's like, if I don't get this gift on Christmas, my life is over. Like, you can just feel it in their heart. It killed me. I could not find a Leah Clark anywhere. But this was also the time that Toys R Us was carrying a small amount of American Girl dolls in their store. So I went to Toys R Us. They had a Truly Me and a Wellie Wisher. And I ended up buying the Wellie Wisher. It was a little cheaper and money was tight for us back then. But it was Willa and it looked just like Ryder. Freckles, the same red hair. I was like, okay, that's the one. And you know what? Ryder loved that doll like more than anything they've ever got for Christmas before. It was the best Christmas ever. And our love grew. And we did eventually add Leah to our collection, but honestly, it wasn't until like 1 or 2 years later when I started buying off of eBay and paying prices of, secondhand dolls and things like that. I never got a brand new Leah Clark. But we got her, and she's a perfect one in our collection, and we still love her so much. So that's the doll that did it for us.
Oh, I love that story. And I love how Willow was still loved, too. And then I love how that you, eventually got Leah. Like, that's so sweet. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bittersweet story because it opened the world of doll collecting for me as an adult collector, and it kind of ended it for Ryder. Ryder was 11. Ryder and I had that together for about 2 years. I think it was about 13 that they finally started, I noticed the American Girl dolls were coming into my room more and more before they were almost all into my room. And I was like, okay. And I was really sad. I started crying that day because Ryder's my youngest. So this was like an empty nest feeling, So I went to my husband, and my husband is just so amazing. And he's just like, okay, so Ryder's over. You're getting rid of the doll collection, but why? And I'm like, what do you mean, but why? I just told you why. So, but these dolls bring you so much joy. Why would you stop collecting something just because Ryder is? And he's like, adults collect dolls. He's like, your mom collected dolls. I'm not this kind of doll. I don't know. It felt like, are you sure? And then, Mal, I found you. You were my connection to doll collecting, to be honest, because Ryder and I started going online and watching YouTube videos. And this was towards the end of Ryder collecting. Still didn't play with them as much, didn't change and dress them as much, but liked to go on and watch YouTube videos of people's collections and openings and hauls and things like that. And we found your channel. And you were, out of all the people we watched together, because we did have a regular bit of YouTubers that we watched, doll collectors, but you were our favorite. You were our first, and you were our favorite. We found that music montage video that you did of you growing up with American Girl dolls.
Oh, yeah.
I would sit on the couch and cry like a baby. It never gets old. In my house, that's like our video. My family, it doesn't matter what's going on. We'll throw on the Mal video. It's so fun. So my husband even emulated it. And a couple years after I started collecting dolls, he made me a version of that. Of course, it's not me growing up because didn't collect them from a child, but he put a video together of all my American Girl doll collection to a song I liked, and and I will tell you right now, if Ryder and I are in the car and Taylor Swift comes on, we think of you.
Oh.
Like, let me turn it up. It makes us want to watch your video. I'm like, oh my God, Mel's video, we haven't watched it in a while. So that's our go-to, and anyone listening that would be a fan of yours, so I'm sure they've watched it and know what I'm referring to, but if not, go watch it, because that is a masterpiece. Like, if you had to say doll masterpiece video, that's the one.
Aww.
So much. So yeah, you were a big influence on me, and brought me to Instagram and social media, and start looking for other doll Instagrammers and into the doll community. So I owe that all to you.
Aww. Holding back tears because that was so sweet. Oh my gosh. I watched that video that your husband made. I remember it, and it was so cool. I loved it.
Well, it's when I was first starting out, so I didn't have a lot of dolls, and it was nothing compared to your video, because that growing up story isn't there. You can't beat that. I had such a short moment, but I just wanted that feeling, like, I want that too.
No, your video was still good. I loved it. Your story's so inspiring too, because I feel like as you get older, I feel like society kind of treats people as they get older to kind of get away from what they love kind of a little bit, especially when they were younger. So do you have any advice to people who are kind of want to get into the doll world, but they're not really sure how, or they're scared to because they are at a certain age in life where society deems it as weird or something?
I don't know. I don't mind telling my age. I'm not young. I'm 51 years old. And I started collecting dolls only 6 years ago. And I feel like I'm only at the start of my collecting. You're never too old. That's the first thing I would tell anybody, including what I tell my kids every day. You're never too old to start something new that brings joy into your life. Never. Just push out any other feelings you have in your mind about what people think or say, because you never are. And there will be people that think and say it. I've honestly lost a handful of friends over my doll collecting that just didn't get it. No matter how many times I tried to explain to them what it is to me. I don't know what they saw that they had such issues with, but they would say things like, this is my midlife crisis, and just really hurtful things. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you know what? It's been a couple of years now since those people have been out of my lives, and so many new people have entered my life that are in the doll community, because there's so many good people out there that do like what you like. You just have to find them. Surround your people that will support you, people that enjoy what you enjoy, and you can't go wrong. So, and besides, they were not people that I needed in my life, obviously, because you don't want people in your life that don't love you 100% for everything that makes you happy and brings you joy.
Exactly.
If they can't understand it, they're not worth having there.
Yes. And I would just add on to that too. The real people who are your friends will love you no matter what, all your weird little things.
It definitely pulled away people from me, but it brought the few that were in my life that are not doll collectors closer, because I now know that they will accept me for whatever I am, and that made me love them more. So it definitely rearranged my friendships with people, but I would say all in a positive way. The people that are in my life now, my kids tell me it all the time, Mom, your friends now are so much better to you than the friends you had before. So I will say that it does make you realize who has your back and who doesn't, who understands you as a person. And if the people in your life aren't those people, then it's time to find people that are. So, but you just got to be strong. You just got to do what makes you happy. And if collecting dolls make you happy, there's no age on happiness.
Yeah. So, besides showcasing her lovely, amazing dollies on her account, Rachel also showcased her Halloween countdown. Goodness, I can't even talk. Yay! So excited.
Once it's Halloween, and I get giddy like kids do on Christmas morning.
Oh.
That's what Halloween is to me.
I love
it's
that.
Always been that way since I was a child. Other kids will be talking about Christmas already. Already, as soon as summer ends, oh my God, what are you gonna get for Christmas? I'm like, stop! Halloween's first. What's wrong with you? I don't know. Halloween was just always big to me, always.
Yeah.
And it slowly became like, okay, we decorate, for the month of October, we live that lifestyle for a month and it's the best month of the year, to, well, maybe it should start earlier and earlier and earlier. And now I'm kind of like, I kind of do Halloween all year. Like, if you see me walking down the street, I have a Halloween purse. It may be in pink because it's Valentine's Day, but I got it. Like, that holiday carries through every holiday for me, if that makes sense. That's how into Halloween I am. My coworkers are just like, you're like the queen of Halloween. And well, yes, next to Elvira, I would say that, definitely.
I love that. You always do so many fun things in your account, and I feel like that's one of the most fun things that everyone looks forward to every single year, your Halloween countdown. So guys, make sure to go check it out if you haven't checked it out already, because it is amazing. I love to see this different stuff that you open every day and just different things like that.
I know. Sometimes I feel like, every year I'm like, should I do it again? Because I don't want to come across as, look at me, my husband spoils me, and it's like Christmas, even though it's Halloween. But he does that because he knows that I love this holiday even more than Christmas. And honestly, he spends more and goes out for me for Halloween than he does Christmas. And to make it happen, it's not like he's out the month before spending $500 to make this countdown happen. He starts November 1st for next year's countdown. Anytime he goes anywhere, if he sees something new or old, because we do a lot of resale shopping, he puts it up for the countdown next year. He does that all year. So that's why there's always such an abundance. It's because my husband has shopped for a year, and every year he seems to go bigger and better, and it's just kind of crazy. But I always do a giveaway on Halloween to thank everyone who watched my videos all month, so that I can kind of pay it forward and give some Halloween or doll treats to other people. And this year I came up with something new, because I wanted to find a way that it wasn't just watch me do a video getting a Halloween gift. How can I make it about other Instagram people? So I'm doing Halloween highlights, where every day for the whole month of October, I will highlight an Instagram account. So it brings attention to someone else in the doll community. You might see someone that you've never followed and find some cool people that way. Or you may find that this is one of your friends as well, and you didn't know you shared that in common. It's fun to watch your friend get highlighted. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's not like a big deal. I just want to kind of give some shout outs and share the doll community with everybody else.
Oh my goodness. I love that. So yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun looking for accounts, because I did highlight, I'm going to be very honest, a handful, not very many, of people that I knew well, or well known in the community. Not like, I do have friends that are really big influencers that get the PR and go to the parties. And, I know that they're going to understand that I'm not including this on them, because we already know them. Mm-hmm. They don't need this shout out. I was trying to look for accounts that were new accounts, new to collecting dolls, or collecting dolls, but just doesn't do it on the level that they do. Like they only have a few hundred to a few thousand followers instead of thousands of followers. Mm-hmm. So just so it can bring some attention to smaller accounts as well. So I think it's a fun way to help them kind of get started in the doll community.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember when I was like, okay, I'm still small, but when I first started to Instagram, and the small accounts, I feel like they don't hardly get any kind of recognition. So I feel like you doing this is just so awesome, and just kind of showing representation for them, such amazing.
Totally. Yeah, and I was really shocked, because a few people I asked are people that I recognize the names as commenting on my stuff and seeing them on my, on my post a lot. So I was like, oh, I'm going to click on them and check out their account. And then they're like, they have, maybe 600 followers or something. And I asked them questions to be able to highlight them, and found out that they'd only been collecting 8 months or a year. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. Like, we talk all the time on here, and I didn't even know that you were new to this. So I feel like that's fun to be able to kind of give them the light and let people find them and get to know their accounts, because I enjoy their accounts very much. Everybody that I'm highlighting, I've followed, and I comment on, and I know their pages. So I just want everyone else to know them too.
Yes, I love that. So sweet. Okay, so we talked about American Girl, but on your account, so obviously Rachel's on Instagram and YouTube, like that's how we kind of connect. But on your Instagram account mainly, you not only show American Girl, but you also get into other doll brands, which I really applaud you for, not like tying yourself down to like a different doll brand, because like you just kind of just spread your love to like everything, and like I love it.
I did a lot more this last year, that is for sure. And I took a lot of slack for that. I'm not trying to put down any certain people of any doll community, but I have had people in the AG community write me and tell me, not really that you're a traitor, but just like, why the switch? You don't love us no more. And that is so not true. I mean, you can collect more than one doll line. It doesn't mean I love my American Girl dolls less if I'm not buying them regularly because I'm out buying a fashion doll. Everyone has reasons for I don't know what, like the vibe that they're into at the moment or the fad that they're going through for something new that's out. But my American Girl dolls aren't going anywhere. I still love American Girl dolls. Anytime anything new comes out that I feel like I'm going to want to add to my collection, I still plan on doing that. There's a couple of the brand new Truly Me's from this last release that are on my list for sure. So I haven't given up on American Girl. I just want everyone to know that. Still, I have almost 100 American Girl dolls. They're still a very huge piece of my collection.
Yeah. No, like I really like that you get into the others because like I feel like everyone can relate to you, and plus like you kind of inspire others. So like last summer I used to collect Barbie Chelseas, which are like, Barbie's little sister, like little dolls,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I pulled my Barbie Chelseas out last summer, and I got my little dollhouse for them out, and I just, like, decorated it. I did it with my little cousin, and, like, we just had a day where we just, like, had them all out, and it felt so good to, like...
You saved it all, because
yeah.
A lot of people get over things, and they think, well, I'm done with that, and then they'll move on to a new doll line, and it's okay to move on. But I'm like, you might want to hold on. That's what when people ask me for advice when they're getting rid or downsizing, because I downsize all the time. You have to. There's not room to save everything. I said, but you really have to think about what you're downsizing because you don't want to regret it. You don't want to have to start over again. Because I'm telling you, even though you put something aside for a while, it creeps back in. Like I said, the new Truly Me release came out, and I hadn't looked at American Girl stuff in a while. I hadn't made a wish list. I hadn't got pumped, but I did again. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make a list. So it comes back. It's okay to go in and out of different doll lines, and I think the reason why I've gone so much more on the fashion doll side is because in my heart growing up, it was always Barbie. It was always Barbie and 11-inch dolls, like Barbie fashion dolls. So it's just that when I was young, there wasn't such things as Rainbow High or Barbie. That's what you collected. So, but I think that's why I can like attach to these dolls so easily, is it reminds me more of my childhood playtime. I don't have that with American Girl. My memories with American Girl are all new memories. So it's just different,
Yeah, I totally get that. So, like I said, you're into, like, the fashion. You said that you're in the fashion, like, 11-inch dolls. So, kind of tell me, I know you collect Rainbow High.
Yeah, Rainbow High. And to be honest, I've collected Rainbow High from the start when it's only it came out in 2020. It's a new doll line. It's only been out a couple of years. And I've never had that. I collected this doll from the start of the collection. And I can say that with Rainbow High. And I feel like it's obtainable to have a complete collection for me if I just keep going because of that. So I think that's why I jumped on so easily. It's like I collected from the start. I can't say that about anything else. So it's kind of neat for that. And I mean, again, to be honest, I think they're the best fashion dolls on the market right now for the price point and the quality of the doll. I love Barbie, but I'm sorry, if you go in and buy a new Mattel Barbie doll right now, you're not going to get that quality unless you spend the more for a collector Barbie. You're just not. So that's why my money seems to tend more towards Rainbow High. But I love them all. Any fashion dolls, I'm going to be all, and they come out and I'm like, I have to have it. I have to have it. The new Naturalistas came out. I'm like, oh my God, those dolls are amazing. I have to have them. And I kept telling my family, okay, I'm down to 7 doll lines. This is the 7 I'm going to collect. If it doesn't fall in this 7, I'm not collecting them. I have my Rainbow High, Monster High. Like, I have them all down on a list. I literally have a list hanging on my wall of my 7 doll lines. And then something comes out, like Naturalistas. I'm like, oh, man. That's just an extra doll. I'm not collecting the whole doll line, but it's an extra doll. I have to. It's just hard to say no to dolls. I can't help it.
No, I'm the same way. I found the Robin Halloween Rainbow High doll today at Walmart. I was like, she's so pretty. Okay, we gotta walk away. Put it away. But no, she was so pretty.
I need one more of the Halloween Rainbow High dolls. I can't find her anywhere. It's driving me crazy.
Which one?
I need the Lola, the werewolf, the pink one from Shadow Eye.
Okay.
And then I have all of the 6 costume ball dolls. So one more. I'm gonna go out this weekend to like every Walmart ever and find this doll. I'm determined. You know, I get that way. Everyone always tells me, you know, how you find the dolls. I'm like, you have to go out. You have to put in the work. Everyone always says, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. I'm like, it's not luck. It's work. It really is. Doll hunting is work.
Yeah. We'll kind of get into a little bit more of the doll hunting kind of later in the podcast for anyone listening. Well, we will talk about your determination for that because you are like the most determined person I've ever met comes towards that. Applaud you. Once again, applaud you. So kind of going back to like showcasing the different doll brands, what advice would you give to someone who wants to kind of showcase different doll brands on their accounts or maybe want to get into another doll brand, but they're kind of on the fence about it?
I would say find a doll line you think you like. Wait for a sale, definitely, because doll sales come and go so often. That way you're not investing in 3 or 4 dolls just to find out, oh gosh, I don't think I want to collect this after all. So that's one good tip. And then think of the storage situation in your house or your room or your doll room or wherever you display. Because a lot of people just buy, and then you start buying, and then before you know it, you have so many dolls that you're like, I have no room for these dolls. So I always try to tell people, kind of go like, okay, I bought a bookshelf, and this is going to be my dolls outside of my main collection. Or I bought a bookshelf, or I bought shelves to hang on the walls, and this, once this is filled, like, that's it for me. Like, have an end game before you even start. It's really important. You'll regret it if you don't. All I do is make maps and redo my doll room monthly, trying to figure out where everything's going to fit. And I've picked up that tip myself from me, and now, like, if a new doll line, if Rainbow High is going to come out with Series 5, spring of 2023, I will have a spot in the room for them by January. Like, their home will be awaiting them before the dolls come out. I don't buy the doll and then go, oh God, where am I going to fit it? Like, I'm already doing that. I have the spots empty to where each doll's go now in my room. The big Rainbow High band is coming out, so I revamped my entire closet to make sure it can fit in that closet displayed. And I'm not even getting that till Christmas. So be ahead when you think about this, where you're going to put this doll, like what you want from this collection before you start the collection, if that makes sense.
No, I really like that. I feel like that's just a good tip in general with like anything too.
You get overwhelmed and you're like, why did I even buy this? And I shouldn't have bought it. And so it's a lot of buying and selling before you come to the conclusion that if you make a plan, you could avoid some of that and not spend so much money on something you're not even going to want to collect in the end.
Yes, I definitely agree. So, for those of you who don't know, Rachel is the queen of many things, for sure. But I think she's one of the biggest queens out and like going out and looking for dolls and even like looking for like doll stuff, like not necessarily like on brand, doll things, but like, I don't know, like I just feel like you just go out and you're like just like a go-getter, like you really hunt for these dolls. She's always on the go.
I would say my most favorite part of doll collecting is going doll hunting. I literally live for it. I'm very blessed that I have a husband that collects things too. Thrift stores, swap meets, we've been married 30 years now, and that's always been there. Even before I doll collected, we were out hunting other stuff. Like, that's just what we enjoy doing together. That's never going away. We will retire and we will be thrifting and going to flea markets and swap meets. That's our thing together. But it is definitely more enjoyable when you have something you collect that you're looking for. And I enjoy doll hunting very much.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet. So, like I said, you're always on the go looking for dolls. Get it?
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. What are your favorite places to look for dolls?
I get asked that so often. I get so many Instagram messages, more than anything, with "You're so lucky. How do you find that? How did you? My stores don't have that. My flea market would never have that." I'm telling you, it does. It does. You just have to put in the work, and it is work. So if I went to Walmart once a month, the chances of me finding the doll that just came out, or the rare in the series, that very short pack, that's not going to happen. I'm going to never find the dolls, just like you. Like, that's how it works. However, if you're going to Walmart 3 to 4 times a week, and it doesn't mean that you're going and you're spending money every time you go, but you, like, if you're going to work, or you're going to the post office, or you're going to the grocery store, wherever you're doing your daily life, just find the closest Walmart to wherever you're at. Find the closest Target. Find the thrift store nearest you. If it's a weekend, chances are that your local drive-through, college, places like that set up swap meets, which I know are known as flea markets in other states, but they're the same. Outdoor vending for used and new toys. And if you go enough, and I know I go enough, I go to the Savers probably twice a week, at least once a week. Never have I not been on a week, at least once a week. On a good week, I'll go 3 times if I can make it happen. And then I go to the swap meet every weekend. There is 2 swap meets in my area that I love, and I prefer one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. The one on Saturday is never missed. Unless, like, a friend is getting married, I'm at the swap meet Saturday morning. It has to be a dramatic event for me to miss a swap meet. So, yeah, if you go that often, you're going to get lucky like I do, because I'm putting myself out there. If you don't put yourself in the place where the dolls are, they're not going to come knock on your door. It's just not going to work that way. You got to go look for them.
Yes, I'm glad that you talked about swap meets, because I was going to get ready to ask.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like they're only, I don't know how common they are, but I feel like they only happen in, like, California, because I know me in the Midwest, we have flea markets, but we don't have the fancy, cool swap meets.
And I would say that's fair, because I believe the weather here is year-round, that we can shop outside, where it isn't in other places. So I think, unfortunately, that's why swap meets are so popular here. I'm sure it has a lot to do with areas. But, you know, even areas that have bad weather, I know you guys have certain times of the year that you're going to get more yard sales or more community sales happen. So you just got to kind of get to know what your area is like and what your best options are for either indoor or outdoor flea markets, swap meets, yard sales, estate sales. You can look. You just have to hunt them, so that and once you find a good place that you know, like, okay, this place has some dolls, you got to go more than now and then. You have to go regularly, because they're going to be there if you go often enough to see them. And that applies anywhere.
Yes, I definitely agree. So, like, once again, I don't know if this is like a California thing either, but we don't have, me in the Midwest, we don't have Savers. Like, what is, like, Savers? Like,
I feel for all of you. I get told that a lot, and it breaks my heart that you don't have a Savers, because Savers is the best thrift store in the world. Like, seriously, when the whole shutdown happened and all the stores closed and there was no Savers in my life for like a year, I really thought I was going to die. Like, my family and I sat around and we made a little memo board, and we all put Post-it notes on it of things we wanted to go to once it opened again. Because, you know, you missed things in life, going to the movie theater, going to things like that. So we all picked like 5 things that we cannot wait to be back. And mine for sure was Savers. And I got so scared, because I know a lot of companies have so much trouble that they never really reopened. And I thought, what if that happens to Savers? But thank goodness they came back, because if something happened and there was no Savers, I would mourn that store. I would literally cry for that store. That's how good Savers is. And they're just a thrift store, but their prices are amazing, and their selection is good. They get a lot. They get a lot of donations, and they're well stocked any day of the week. Like, I could go in the morning and go back in the evening, and it's totally all new again. So, and I have done that. And I have 3 Savers that are close by driving distance to me, and I have 2 outside of what you would consider consider close, like if I wanted to drive about an hour, but all three of the others are within about 20 minutes of me. So I rotate them. I try to hit them up as much as I can. Every 3 days or so, I'm at one of them. And that's sometimes I'll do two on one day because they're close enough together that you can. But I just love Savers. I can't say enough about what they have done for my dog collection.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, when I come out to California again, I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yes, and I've had people do that. I've had people, because I talk about Savers so much, they will message me. We went to Disneyland, so we're in town, and where's the closest Savers? I know you know. And a few of them, I've met them there. I've even had one, wasn't planned. I was just at Savers because I go so much, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're here. I knew you would be here. Funny. Yeah, they're like, we're on our way to the American Girl store in LA, but we were staying in Anaheim for just, so we came to this Savers, and you're here.
Oh.
So it's happened. It's really cool. It has happened. But yeah, I always tell people, I know that you might not be able to do it as often as I can, but if you vacation, make sure the first thing you do when you get to wherever your destination is, check to see if they have a Savers.
Yes.
If it's within an hour of wherever you're staying, it is worth the drive. 100% guaranteed worth the drive. I mean, I have some days that are not so great, but I've never, I mean, it's so rare that I walk out of that store without buying something. That's how much I love that store. It's great.
I even think, like, checking the area where you're going to for, like, anything was awesome. Like, I went to Dallas a few weeks ago, and this was, like, when all of the TJ Maxx and Marshalls got in, like, the old Truly Me dolls for, like, $80. Oh, yeah. So I went to so many stores. I was over 10. Like, it was a good chunk. And I just hit, like, I didn't hit all of them in the Dallas area because, let's be real, they have a lot of stores there. And, like, I kind of got, like, oh my gosh, like, no wonder they say everything's bigger in Texas. No wonder, like, look at all these stores. But
also make sure that you guys check when you go on vacations, check to see if there's a children's resale store, like a Once Upon a Child or a Children's Orchard. They all sell toys, and those toys are always in better condition even than Savers because they're buying the toys to resell. Parents bring in toys their kids have outgrown and give them cash or store credit for those toys. So they don't buy toys unless they're in good shape. So you're getting, like, sometimes even new or near new dolls. Mm-hmm. So I love children resale stores. That's a great place. And almost most cities have a children's resale shop. So that's another good tip on somewhere to check for dolls.
Yeah, we used to have a children's orchard, but then they had a fire, I think, or something, and they never reopened, and that was really sad. But yeah.
Yeah, resale stores are great. Thrift stores are great. Swap meets or flea markets. If you don't have those, keep an eye on Facebook Marketplace for people selling dolls locally, or even estate sale. Actually, an estate sale listed in my neighborhood, not like my walking neighborhood, but in my general area to drive to. It's about 10 minutes. And I saw them put on Facebook Marketplace. It's a Barbie in the box. Someone was at a doll collector, Barbie dolls, like, close to me. And I'm like, no, tell yourself no. You spent too much money this week. No, I want to go so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a Barbie estate sale. This is like a dream come true. And the prices were really good, like $8, $12 for inbox Barbie. So I'm like,
oh girl.
Okay. I know. I'm still trying to talk myself out of it. I mean, it's still pretty early in the day, so I may end up there yet, but I'm trying to be good. I am.
Do you have any specific techniques for doll hunting / doll finding? I know you kind of talked about, rotating and kind of hitting them up often, but do you do, like, anything else special for it?
I can't think of anything that I do special. Little tips, I guess it just depends on where you're referring to. If I'm at the swap meet, I always try to get a deal. Sometimes if you bundle, if you buy more than one doll from a person, you can get them to go down on the price. If I'm at the thrift store, I walk the aisles where kids play with toys. So they may take the dolls, but mom might not actually be buying the doll, and it gets dumped in another area of the store. So just because you run into a thrift store and you look at the doll section, don't give up. That doesn't mean anything. Some of the best dolls I've found have been laying next to the glassware aisle. You never know. So that's another tip. Always check the whole store. Don't just assume. Think if I'm missing anything else. No, and just, be kind to other doll collectors. If I find dolls that maybe I've spent too much this week and I'm not going to buy them all, or I already have them in my collection and I'm leaving them, I posted on Instagram, this location, if you're local, they have Cabbage Patch dolls. Good condition, this price. So many people have gone and taken a picture of getting the doll after I've left at that location. And I just love when I see that, because I get to see where it went. Like, someone went and bought it. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Like, and like you're like assured in yourself that they went to like a good home,
Exactly. And because I've been doing that for so long now, it recently has started coming back. Like, the karma's coming back to me, because with the last couple months, we've had some really big Rainbow High doll releases, and I haven't been able to find them. And usually I'm pretty lucky, and I was just having a tough time. And the last series that came out, I only found because of Instagram people. Hey, it's at this aisle, on this shelf, at this location, and I'd go running. And so that happened about a few times last month, and it was really fun, because I'm used to being that person to help other people go find dolls. So I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm getting help finding dolls, and that's really cool. So, just because you don't want the doll, there may be somebody that is their holy grail doll. So make sure you're spreading the word, share it.
Yeah.
That's what Instagram's for, right?
Yes, definitely. Alrighty, everyone, we have sadly reached the end of this episode. Honestly, I had such a fun time talking to you, Rachel. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Of course. I'm glad we reached the end. That means we did it.
Yeah, we did it successfully this time. Look at us. So everyone, make sure that you go check out Rachel. She's at dolls_on_the_go on Instagram. I'll link her down below. You also do kind of some things on YouTube, right?
Yeah, my husband has a YouTube channel, but my family is part of it. It's called Tucker Time, because that's our last name. And we like to go to conventions. We like to do doll shows. We like to do toys, action figures, Comic-Con, Halloween events. We try to go to a lot of stuff. My husband works in the entertainment business. He works over at Knott's Berry Farm, which is a big theme park here in California, besides, the other one we all know about. So we do get to do a lot of fun stuff through him through work. So anything our family attends, we like to do, we call them little episodes, where we just take you along for the fun, or we do like a wrap up and talk about where we went. So we try to get those out a few times a month. And seriously, it's just random. Like, it could just be my son and I got some new coffee and we want to do a coffee tasting. Like, we do crazy, silly things like that. So there is some doll content, but it's not just doll content. That's just every now and then. I was going to do YouTube on my own, on my doll. I have a YouTube channel for Dolls on the Go, but I don't use it. I'm not trying to, get a big influencer follower to get PR stuff. I just love the dolly world in general. I just like to connect to other people. I enjoy sharing photos and just chatting with you guys on Instagram. So for me personally, I'm just a doll Instagrammer. That's what I say. I just do Instagram. But there is a YouTube if you want to check it out. Of course, it's Tucker Time.
I will link it down below as well. And even I feel like you you make videos and post it on Instagram too. So I kind of I feel like, what am I trying to say? Yeah.
But I only post them on Instagram. You're right.
And plus I always enjoy those. Like, you're always out, kind of doll hunting, or you're in your doll room.
Doll hunts, or doll room tours, because I'm forever updating my doll room and I love to share it with everybody. So if you like that kind of stuff, then that's on Instagram for sure.
So definitely go check her out. Once again, she'll be linked down below. Go check her out. Give her some love.
Aw, thank you. I really appreciate you having me on and getting to say that I'm part of your story and your doll history, because like I said, I've always looked up to you. You're a huge part of me starting this world and this road that I've got on with dolls, so it means a lot.
Oh, girl. That's so sweet. I love you so much.
And I swear, one day we are going to get together in person.
We are.
I know you're going to come when the new American Girl Los Angeles store opens.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So anyways, my name's Mal. Go check me out as well if you want. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. at Dollies and Rainbows. Follow the Doll Mom Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Doll Mom Podcast. Go check that out as well. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.